sign WX4AR. Today I'm going to talk about something new I found called WSPR. That stands for Weak Signal Propagation Reporter. Today, while on YouTube, looking at one of Randy K7AGE video. By the way, if you've never seen one of Randy's videos, I highly recommend you do so. Excellent in every way. Again, that's Randy at K7AGE. Again, WSPR, Weak Signal Propagation Reporter. It looks like it's something pretty neat, and we're going to take a little further look into it and see what you think. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, here we are at the WSPR website. You can just Google WSPR. It's the one that's from the Princeton Physics Department. Something physics.princeton.edu. You'll find it on Google. Okay, now what is WSPR? Well, according to Wikipedia, it's a computer program used for weak signal radio communications between amateur radio operators. The program was written by Joe Taylor, K1JT, and it was released way back in 2008. Okay, now what is it used for? I see a couple of good uses. One, it allows you to check propagation on a particular band. And two, it allows you to test various antennas. Now, when you transmit on this WSPR, what is transmitted? Well, your station call sign, the first digit grid location, and your power output. For instance, mine would look something like WX4AR, which is my call sign, of course, FM29, which is the first four digits of the locator, and 40. Now, 40 stands for your power output. In this case, 40 is 10 watts. Now, the thing to remember is WSPR only uses upper sideband. Even if you're on 40 meters or 80 meters, don't forget to switch it to upper sideband. Also, it is very important that your PC's clock is accurate because WSPR is very dependent on the exact time. So I recommend that you set your time to the WWV, which is the United States National Institute of Standards and Technologies, located in Fort Collins, Colorado. And of course, it can be found on either 5, 10, or 15 megahertz. All right, now, when it comes to transmitting and receiving, your transmit lasts 2 minutes. And then the receive time is randomized. Now, I'm not sure how long it's randomized. I haven't been into it long enough to figure that out yet. But it's not every 2 minutes. Transmit, receive, receive. You transmit 2 minutes, now maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes longer that you'll be receiving before you transmit again. I'm not real sure of that time scale. After you've done that once or twice or 3 times, you then go to www.wsprnet.org. You bring up the map, and you can see who copied you and who you copied. On my first try, a station in Argentina heard me all the way from New Jersey while I was only using 10 watts. So it's quite remarkable. I also found a great site for a grid map at www.no.nonsense.ee/qthmap or no.nonsense.ee/qthmap. So check it out and enjoy. Okay, so you go to this website. Now you go all the way down where it says downloads. Now it recommends that you download WSPR 2.0. For one reason or another, I don't know why, but it would not allow me to do that. Something to do with my antivirus. But it would allow me to download the WSPR 2.12. I don't know what the difference is really. I think it has a couple added features. Again, I haven't been in it long enough to know what that is. So okay, so you download that, and then what you do, you come over here. I'll bring this over here where you can see it. And you bring it up. The first thing that comes up is this DOS box, which you can just exit out because you don't need it. Oh, Okay, for some reason. I don't know why that did that. Let's try that again. Okay, just X out. Okay, I figured out what I was doing wrong. Again, you click on WSPR, and the DOS box, you don't want to close it. You want to minimize it. I was trying to close it. That was the problem. Okay. First thing you want to do is go over to Setup, Station Parameters. Over here, you want to put in your call sign, which I've done, my grid, Foxtrot Mike 29 Tango November. Audio in and audio out. Now, I use a Signalink USB, so that is the codec. Power. If you just hover over the power, you'll see that 40 is 10 watts. Now, it gives you anywhere from 0 up to 60. I think 60 is 1,000 watts. I don't know if they recommend you do that. I notice a lot of people have 27, which is 500 milliwatts, or 37 rather, 37, which is 5 watts. However, it's because of my antenna situation, which is not that great, I do put it on 10 watts. Okay, now down here where it says Enable CAT, if you have your radio set up on CAT, you can do it that way instead of the sound card. I do not do that, so I just leave it that way. Okay. Okay, now you would, where it says band. Now this is very important. Every time you switch to a different band, it is very important you set the band on the WSPR application here, because then it knows how to report your signal and incoming signals. Because if you don't change the band, you'll go to look to see what your signal reports are, and it won't be there because it'll be on a different band. So it's very important. Now we're going to do ours on 20 meters today. So I go ahead and click 20 meters. Now down here, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the dial. You want to set your radio to 14.0956 megahertz, which I've done already, and I'll turn my radio up a tad. Over here, it says transmit fraction. I'm not real sure what that means, but everyone I've seen on the other videos always leaves it on 20, and that's good enough for me. Now over here where it says idle, when the idle is checked and it's yellow like that, the application is in standby mode. Turn the radio down, Ted. So in order for it to start working, you want to uncheck that. Now it only starts at the even minute, so it's like 41 seconds. So it won't start until it reaches 15:58 in this case. And we'll just stand by it and watch that. And down here it says ready to start. Okay, and you notice that down here it changed to receiving. So now it is receiving. Now you notice the waterfall up here doesn't move. If you're used to Ham Radio Deluxe, or if you're used to Digipan, you'll notice that the waterfall constantly moves. Here it doesn't. It only during after the receive cycle is over, then you'll see a block of what it received during that time. And then after you transmit again, it'll go back into receive. And after receive is done, then you'll see another block. And eventually it'll fill up this whole waterfall. Okay, it's still going. Right now, if you notice down here in the time, it just turned to 15:59. Now, I imagine when it turns to 1600, I will go in transmit mode. And we will wait for that and see how that turns out. Now, if you can hear my radio in the background, I am not actually hearing anything, but I guarantee it will pick up something. Okay. 28 seconds to go. Hopefully in 10 seconds now we'll go into transmit mode. Okay, yeah, it said waiting down here. It says waiting to start. All right, these are the free down here. It shows you what stations you just received. All right, in fact, now you've just heard it go into transmit mode. Down here it says transmitting WX4AR FM 2940. And as I discussed earlier, call sign, grid locator, and 40 power output. 40 meaning 10 watts. Okay, again up here, these are the stations received. For instance, KI7CI, located DMO9. It's 37, which means I believe that's 5 watts. This is the time UTB. I'm not real sure what that means, nor the DT. I will have to look into that further. And again, this will transmit for a full 2 minutes. And I am only pushing 10 watts. So you don't have to worry about any kind of duty cycle in your transmitter or anything. Also, as you've noticed up here on the waterfall, now you are definitely seeing a part of the waterfall where some stations have been logged. All right. Transmit for another 40 seconds. 30 seconds. $15 seconds. And actually, it's not quite a full 2 minutes. It's like a minute 56 or 52 seconds. There we go. Now it's back into receive. Down here it says waiting to start. Now when it reaches the 1602 mark, it'll start receiving it again. All right, pretty nice. Now, what do you do with that? Okay. Oh, before I do that, I just wanted to make sure we're here where it says upload spots. You want to make sure that's checked. What that does is, like these 3 stations I heard, they will be downloaded to the internet. So these stations can go and find out and realize that I've heard them. All right, again, what do we do now? We go over here, we open up a website. This is WSPRnet.org. And you go to the map section, which is already here. Now down here, it's going to ask you the band, which is 20 meters. You want to put just your call sign in if you only want to see what you received and who received you. Now, if you leave that blank, it'll show everybody, so you really don't want to do that. Latitude and longitude, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of set there. And time period. Now, you can either go past 10 minutes, 30 minutes, past hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, all the way up to the past 24 hours. I'm just going to leave it in the last 10 minutes. And we're going to come up here to the map and hit update. Okay. Bring this in a little bit. Okay, here's a map of the United States. Okay. Now you notice all these lines. These are stations that you either heard you or you heard them. Now to find out what, you go over to your call sign, left click it on. Let's see if I move this over a little bit. Now it's telling me I am hearing these 3 stations, K17CI, W0JTM, W8PBB. Now these are the ones that heard me. A14RY, K50K, KI7CI, and so on. Now again, this is only 10 watts. That's pretty good. Now here's KI7CI. He looks like he's in Nevada. Not only did I hear him, but he also heard me. Now that's not bad for 10 watts. So that is pretty sharp. Over here, user login, you have to request, or you have to create a new account. I imagine what that is it keeps track of all your data. I've done that. I did that last night. They have not gotten back to me with username or password yet. I am waiting on that. Okay, well, that's about it. I think this is pretty interesting. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. And 73, and God bless.